Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodash, call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Ruach HaKodash. Double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone. Honors to you brothers that are pushing the gospel of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, in all sincerity, diligence, and truth. And peace and grace be upon the house of David, which is the elect, the men, women, and children that are predestined to receive salvation and to be the first fruits of the kingdom of heaven, which is the kingdom of Israel. So I just wanted to touch on this topic. All right, it's a topic that I've from time to time touch on, man, and it's the renewing of the earth. All right, because the Lord said that the earth was created to be inhabited. All right, by man. All right, going back into the garden, the land, all right, that was upon the earth was called Idan, which is paradise. All right, when the sons of God, all right, starting with Yahweh Shai, all right, the first Adam had dominion over the earth. All right, and we were, the earth, during the time of Adam, okay, before the fall, all right, the earth was a paradise. Okay, and through the fall of the sons of God and the rising of the wicked, all right, and the wicked getting dominion over the earth, the earth is in a decrepit, decaying state. Okay, pollution, all right, the foods are defiled, the water is defiled, the minds are defiled, these bodies are defiled. All right, so we're waiting for the manifestation of the sons of the Most High. Actually, let me get that real quick. In the book of Romans, the 8th chapter, okay, the scripture tells us, all right, and life itself tells us that there needs to be a change in authority, all right, because the way that this world is being ran right now is completely contrary to life. It's completely contrary to, stability. All right. So what needs to occur? All right. It's evident that new management of the world needs to take place. All right. There was a GIF or GIF, however you want to pronounce it, that I seen a couple of days ago that showcased the space garbage that is orbiting the earth right now, man, and they said it's hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of pieces of space garbage that is just surrounding the earth. Now, when you think about how that got there, who is to blame other than starting with the so-called Caucasian race, all right, Esau Edom, the one who desires to set their nests, upon the stars. All right, the ones who, try to search out the heavens. All right, through their technology. All right, their faulty technology, which has negative effects on the environment. All right, on the ecosystem. Okay, the garbage that is polluting the waters. All right, the million tons of plastic that is in the oceans. You see, this devil, he has dominion over the earth, but he is not profitable for the earth, man. And that's why we are hastening the coming of the day of our Lord, because the scripture tells you that in due time the Lord is going to set over the earth one that is profitable. And that's who? Starting with Yahweh Shai and the ones that will be joint heirs with him. Okay, Lord willing, we are of that number. We're going to institute the righteous order, the righteous laws and judgments on the earth that was given to us by the Creator. Okay, Yahweh himself, man. That's how the earth is supposed to be judged. That's how the earth is supposed to be ran. It's through the laws, statutes, and commandments from the Creator, Yahweh, through his son, Yahweh Shai, and the house of David, the elect. All right, the governing body, the 144,000. And once And only once when that takes place will the earth be returned to a position or a place of paradise again. Okay, it's not going to be no garbage and pollution and fog, smog, what they call it, from these factories. All right, you're not going to have turtles with plastic, straws up their noses and birds that got plastic in their digestive system. All right, whales and sharks beaching themselves because of the pollution of the water. Okay, the seasons are not going to be out of course. All right, when it's summer, you're going to have summer weather. When it's fall, you're going to have fall weather. When it's spring, spring, and winter, winter. Okay, you're not going to have to worry about carbon emissions, greenhouse. All right, chemtrails in the air. The foods are actually going to have nutritious value. These are the things, man. This is what we are fighting for. This is the kingdom which will be on earth that we are longing for, man. This is what the good news is. Because what we're living right now is not life, man. This is death. This is sufferings. This is it's chaos. All right, it's not sustainable. Okay, and the reason for that is because the wicked are in rule. You got to just call a spade, man. The people, the ones that have control of the earth in the ways of the earth, there is a particular nation on the earth that has dominion right now, and it's clear and evident who it is. And the way that they are operating and running and controlling the earth is contrary to life itself, man. That's why the wicked has to be revealed, and that's why they have to be consumed and destroyed and taken out of the way. So this is Romans chapter 8, verse 19. It says, "For the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of God. For all creation is waiting eagerly for that future day when the Most High will reveal who his children really are." Okay, and it's not those 48ers, man. Okay, it's not those small hats that claim that they are the people of the Bible, but do everything contrary to the order and statutes and judgments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, it's the ones who are sighing and crying for the abominations that are being done here. The ones who are longing for, for a world wherein righteousness dwelleth. Not the doest thou wilt spirit, not do whatever makes you happy. Okay, because clearly that is not working. All right. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. You got uproars and anxiety and depression and killings and suicide at an all-time high all throughout the world right now. Clearly, people are not rejoicing. All right. You even got the wicked that are uproaring against the ones who are in authority of their own nation. That's how bad, that's how negative the rulership of Esau is, man. Their own people are protesting against them. You got protesting happening in the land of Israel right now against the small hats. That's not going to be happening in the kingdom, man. Okay? The world is going to rejoice at the fact that the sons of God are in authority, man. Okay? Now, understand that these heathens, they're going to be devoured. They're going to be in captivity. But we're going to show that I'm going to show you a video that's going to actually showcase why that's actually going to be a good thing. That these heathens are not going to have this free dominion that they have now. Because understand, the way that these heathens, all right, starting with Esau, all right, but in these other nations, the way that they are operating is really off of the vibration of Esau. Okay? Tourism, traveling the world, traveling is one, on one hand, it's a good thing, it's beneficial, all right, if you're doing it in a just and righteous, in an orderly fashion. But the way that Esau uses travel is not for the experience. It's not for, the purpose of exploring the world. Esau uses travel as a means of consumerism. All right, as a means of gaining money, of getting rich. That's why when you go to any place on the earth, you're going to find a place, and especially it's the nicer places of those countries and different islands, right? That they're going to speak English. There's going to be tourist attractions that are what's the word I'm looking for? Directed towards so-called westernized culture. Okay, whether it be you find a Ritz-Carlton there, okay, you find a Bellagio, okay, all right, you find foods that Americans or I'm not just Americans but Western culture, all right, partake in, things that are all appealing to really Esau, okay, because he has the dominion of the earth right now. But tourism is actually, the way that it is right now, the way that it's set up right now is actually defiling the earth, man. And what this whole pandemic has shown, okay, because of these lockdowns, is that there needs to be a global a global program to keep people from traveling. And that's really going to happen during the time of the return of Yahushua and the enslavement of the nations underneath the Israelites, starting with the elect. All right, see, for that first 1,000 years, these heathens ain't going to have freedom to go and to and fro as they will, man. All right, they're going to be subject to continual employment of the order and fashion of the Israelites to regenerate the earth. Well, the Lord is going to regenerate it by fire, but also by a human resource, which is going to be what? The captivity that these heathens are going to be in. All right, so understand that you're not going to have, all right, speaking to these heathens, they're not going to have the liberty to just go and do whatever they want in the kingdom of heaven, man. Okay? You're gonna have to get permission. And you're not gonna have that permission for that first 1,000 years. And that really is to have the earth rejuvenate itself, to restore itself. So here, I'm gonna play this clip, because within this clip, it tells you that, as you see the title, Crown Royal Emek breathes fresh life into the ecosystem of Thailand's Phi Phi Islands. All right. And why is that? It says, as you see here, travel restrictions around the world due to Crown Royal pandemic breathes fresh life into the ecosystem of Thailand's Phi Phi Islands, which was earlier on the verge of collapse due to rapid tourism. And that's all Esau promotes in his world, is nothing but what? A capitalistic society of basically overusing the natural resources of the earth in order to profit, which is causing a great strain on the earth, man. And on top of that, none of the laws of the Heavenly Father are being implemented. So the earth is already cursed. The earth is already cursed because the people who the earth was created for is cursed. And then you got the people of the Most High's curse, pursuant to Isaiah the 34th chapter, ruling the earth. All right, you have this fugitive, this vagabond that is ruling the earth right now. And the way that he's ruling it is adverse. Satan is satanic, man. It's adverse to life. It's adverse to what the earth needs. So let me play this real quick.
The ongoing COVID-19 crisis has dealt a blow to the world's tourism industry. But when travel stopped, the fragile ecosystem of Thailand's iconic Phi Phi Islands got a breather and a chance to recover from an ecological catastrophe. Take a look at our next detailed report. Dazzling blue waters and a sandy white beach.
The Maya Bay is a slice of paradise which is immortalized in Leonardo DiCaprio's movie, The Beach. But it is on the brink of collapse due to unchecked tourism, which wreaked havoc on the Earth's delicate ecology. The coral cover decreased by more than 60% and marine life disappeared. In 2018, Thailand even closed the island to tourists in order to undo decades of damage. With the tourists gone, dozens of black-tipped sharks, green turtles, the original inhabitants of the crystal waters, have returned.
And you see that? Within just a year, man. See what the earth was able to do. Okay? To rejuvenate, to regenerate itself. Because it wasn't being overused, overpopulated, and wrongfully used by Esau and these heathens. Because they don't know how to take care of the earth, because they don't have the laws and statutes and judgments to do so. Let me get that real quick. They don't follow the ways of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, so they don't know what the earth needs in order for it to remain a paradise. Okay, Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5. It says, "Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whitherso ye go to possess it." Okay, and this is, speaking about when we were going into the land of Israel, okay, the promised land. But when Yahweh Shai returns, the whole earth is going to be ours, man. The whole earth will be our possession. Starting with the possession, obviously, is going to be of Yahweh Shai's, but the Lord said what? That, let me get that something real quick. Revelation chapter 2, verse 26, it says, "And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end," red letter Yahweh Shai, "to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them," okay, with a rod of iron, as the vessels of potter shall, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I have received of my Father. So as Yahweh Shai received of his Father the earth, all right, in the heathens, these nations, the Lord has made, Yahweh Shai has made us joint heirs with him to receive that as well. Okay, let's get that also real quick before I go back to Deuteronomy. Salakia. Psalms 2, verse 8. "Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thy inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession." You see? And that's what he gave to Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh Shai that said that he's going to give that unto us as well. His elect, starting with the 144,000, and the rest of the believers, and through them the whole nation of Israel. All right, shall be a nation of kings and priests, and we're going to have for an inheritance the nations and the whole earth. And with that inheritance and having the dominion over the earth, we're going to instill the ways of our power, which the ways of our power brings forth the ways of life, man. So back here to Deuteronomy 4, verse 6 says, "Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people." Why? Because of the laws that will be instilled in our hearts, the fulfillment of the new covenant, okay? That will be in our hearts, and we're going to have that understanding on what we need to do in order to have the earth, be beautified, have the earth be a paradise. Why do you think in Revelation, the 22nd chapter, it talks about the nations and the kings shall bring their wealth to us continually? Because they're going to see that we are a great nation, a wise and understanding people, and they're going to get to see the benefits of us, of the sons of God being manifested. Okay, having clean air, having food that actually has nutritious value, not needing to have supplements and extracts. Okay, all right. The cancer rate will be lower. All right, the anxiety rate will be lower. Now, this is before and this is after, that they after they serve their slavery. All right, after they are used. All right, once again, human resource is the greatest resource. After they will be used to renew the earth, because that's what that judgment that they're going to receive is for destroying the earth and being partakers and drinking of the cup of the wine of Esau Edom. All right, pursuant to Jeremiah 51st chapter, where it says the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Okay, and also being partakers of the downfall of Israel. All right, the Most High's chosen nation. Okay, so let's go back here.
Inhabitants of the crystal waters have returned. Marine biologists are also aiming to repopulate the waters with brown bamboo sharks.
These shark species are bottom species. They must living in the coral reef, and then when we gently open the basket, we use the basket to take them down to the bottom. When we open gently, and the sharks are going out themselves, and then stand still, adjust themselves to the environment, and then they go.
There were tons of boats before the bay was closed, so the coral reefs were damaged by the anchors dropped from these boats. So the closure of the bay followed by the hiatus period of COVID have helped much of the nature to recover.
But the ecosystem cannot recover in just 2 years. And Thailand is aware that it cannot make the same mistake twice. The islands are set to reopen once again this new year, but on a sustainable model which will not put too much pressure on the region's natural resources. Boats will no longer be allowed to moor near the beach, and the number of tourists allowed to visit will also be regulated. But the government's plan have not been welcomed by all. The residents of the island, whose livelihoods revolve around tourism, hope for the return of tourists. For Thailand, it will be a tricky balancing game, managing a bustling economy and a fragile natural ecosystem which once lost cannot be recovered again. For now, the Omicron variant has once again put the tourism industry on an uncertain footing and given the island's marine wildlife a little more time to recover. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
Yeah. See? And the earth is going to need 1,000 years to rejuvenate. Okay? It's going to need 1,000 years of complete, not complete, but 1,000 years of Esau, everything that Esau did during his kingdom, okay, to be able to go back completely to that idont state. So if that's the case, there's not going to be no tourism for you heathens, man. You're not going to be able to take vacation, take what they call it, take holiday. That's how they say it in Europe. All right, you're not going to be able to go out and enjoy the atmosphere. No, the earth needs to rest, man, because it has been defiled under the inhabitants thereof. Let's get that. Isaiah chapter 24, verse 4 or 5? Verse 4 says, "The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish." Yeah, man. Even the greatest people on the earth, the haughty people, which right now are who? Esau, Edom. Okay, they're even wasting away, man. All right, you got Edomites that are got all types of ailments and diseases. All right, they all drugged up on opioids. Okay, because why? The earth is also defiled under the inhabitants thereof. The earth suffers for the sins of its people. And the scripture tells you that the whole world lieth in wickedness. And why is that? Because the wicked is in rulership. And because the wicked is in rulership, the people are mourning and the earth is mourning. And that's why you have to, nothing is going to change. They can try to say, oh, we need to have sustainability and have a balance. Y'all can't do that because you're not implementing the ways of the creator. You're trying to do it under your own wisdom, your own ideas, and it's not going to work. Okay? It says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, and broken the everlasting covenant. All right, the earth abides, okay? It's under, in order for it to profit, it has to be used according to the laws of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, just like the Israelites. In order for us to profit, in order for us to be successful, we have to abide by the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And because we haven't done it, we have been cursed. And because the earth is not being ran under the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, guess what? As you see here, verse 6, therefore the curse devoureth the earth. You see? The curse has devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. And not just the people, but the animals, the ecosystem, the plants, okay, the air, the foods, the water, everything is cursed, man. See, you're not supposed to be, according to the law, you're not supposed to be just continuously, using the resources of the land. The land is supposed to have a land Sabbath. That's one of the laws that are being transgressed. Leviticus 25 verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, when ye come into the land which I give you, and then shall the land keep the Sabbath unto the Lord. 6 years thou shalt sow thy field, and 6 years thou shalt prune thy vineyard, and gather in the fruit thereof. But in the 7th year it shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land, a Sabbath for the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Thou shalt neither sow thy field nor prune thy vineyards. That which groweth of its own accord of thy harvest thou shalt not reap. Give the land a rest. All right, but this devil, he doesn't give the land a rest, man. He doesn't give the people a rest. He doesn't give nothing a damn rest, man. Okay? He's just nothing but oppressive, constant state of oppression. That's why in Isaiah, the 14th chapter, it says what? How has the cities, the golden city ceased? The staff of the wicked has been broken. That continuously. I'm gonna get that. Let me finish this. Neither gather the grapes of thy vineyard, for it is a year of rest unto the land. Okay, and the Sabbath of the land shall be meat for you, for thee, and for thy servant, and for thy maid, and for thy hired servant, and for thy stranger that sojourneth with thee, and for thy cattle, and for thy beasts that are in the land, shall all the increase thereof be of meat. And that's why when you had the pandemic happen, which you just seen, that there was no tourism, so there was less and less people there, and not just over there in Thailand. All right, but you had over there in the canal of Italy in Venice. You had dolphins coming back into the canal. All right, you just heard that they said that certain sharks and certain turtles were returning. Okay, because the land is at rest, so the land is being able to rejuvenate. So the animals in the ecosystem is benefiting from that. But this devil doesn't think about that, man, and these heathens don't think about that because they're following after the ways of the wicked. And that's why they are going to need to be put in subjection, and they're going to need to be put underneath the ones who the earth was created for. Okay? And once the ones who the earth were created for are in rulership, these nations are going to abide by our ways, our laws, and the world is going to benefit from it. But those first 1,000 years, and I got to keep reiterating it, those first 1,000 years, you heathens are not going, you ain't going to be traveling. It ain't going to be, oh, let's go here. Let's go to this part. Let's go to that. Let's go. Let's take a vacation. Let's see this. Nah, the earth needs to rest from you heathens, man. Because all y'all think about is consuming capitalism and that mindset of just constant overuse, man, which is that mind of Esau. But when the people are in, the righteous people are in authority, y'all gonna follow the ways of Israel, man, the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Isaiah 2 verse 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain, the government of the Lord's house, shall be established in the top of the mountains, on the top of any other governments, man, any of these other nations. And it shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. And many people shall go and say, come ye, let us go up into the mountain of the Lord, the government, the ways of Israel. And it says, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, because our ways are going to be life. Our ways are going to produce benefits. Okay? Our ways are going to produce longevity. The animals are going to be prospering. You're not going to have zoos where the animals are drugged up and docile. Okay? You're not going to have reservations for gardens of certain exotic plants, because they can't survive in the atmosphere, that we have right now, because of the pollution and the carbon emission that Esau likes to say. All right? The earth itself, wherever you go, is going to be beautified. You're not going to have to pay to go to what do they call it? Botania, something like to that effect. All right, you have to pay to go to a certain garden to see, arrangement of flowers, man. No, you're gonna walk outside and you're gonna see the beauty of the earth, man. Remember when the Lord gave the blueprint, okay, for the earth to be created by Yahweh Shai in the host that he was with, everything was good. Okay, when the Lord said, he said, and it was good, and that was good, and that was good. It was according to the ways and the plans that the Lord created. And now you see everything is what? Destroyed, man. That's why there has to be a renovation of the earth by fire. So it says, and we will walk in his paths, for out of Zion, all right, to Zion, which is the memorial of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, shall go forth the law and the word of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, from Jerusalem. Okay? And that's when the earth will be beautified. Let's get that in Revelation 22, because we talked about the curse that has devoured the earth. But right here it says what? Revelation 22 verse 2. In the midst of the streets of it, and on either side of the river, there was the tree of life, that bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruits every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. Okay? Because the ways that the ways and our customs and our way of life will be beneficial for these nations, man. All right? Our laws, our order, after that 1,000 years, after they served that slavery, okay? And they're not just able to go to and fro, all right, but they're going to be locked down. All right, we're going to show you a real, true lockdown. The earth is going to be able to rejuvenate itself, and then they're going to get their inheritance back, these heathen nations. Not Esau. He's going to be taking out the earth because he's the cancer of the earth. But these other nations, they're going to get their inheritance, their lands back. And when they get their lands back, when they see their lands, it's going to be beautified. Okay? But they're going to have to continuously follow the ways of the Lord. And if they don't, they're going to be judged. All right, I believe that's in the book of Zechariah. But let me finish that. It says, and there shall be no more curse. All right, the curse won't be upon the people of Israel. And therefore, consequently, there will be no curse upon the earth. Because the earth was created for Israel's sake. Let's get that. And as long as Israel is underneath the curse, then the earth is going to be underneath the curse. Second Esdras chapter 6 verse 57. It says, and now, O Lord, behold, these heathen which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and devour us. But we, thy people, Israel, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. And not only we, but the earth has been given into the hand, all right, of these heathens, starting with Esau, Edom, all right, the wicked. It says, if the world now be made for our sakes, Yasharallah, Israel, the sons of God, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? All right. And we're coming to the end of this enduring, man. The end of our captivity. All right. And that's why back in Isaiah the 14th chapter, it says what? Once this devil is taken down, the trees, what it says, the trees of Lebanon shall rejoice, man. I believe it said the trees of Lebanon. It says what? Since thou hast been laid down, no feller has come up against us. That's why back in Romans the 8th chapter, it says the world, the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of God. All right. And this right there, that video is a small inkling of that, of the fact that if Esau's, his ways are not in a particular part of the earth is rejoicing. The earth is beautified. Wherever Esau goes, death follows. Was that Habakkuk? It says he enlargeth and he enlargeth himself as hell. All right. I'm gonna show another video. I'm not gonna show the whole thing for this one, but it just shows different parts of the earth because of the lockdown, how the animals started to come back and the earth, started to be, or it says healed. I think it was this one. Nature was healing itself because of the lockdown. I'm actually speeded up. Look at that.
The year 2019, we heard a lot about climate change and how it was affecting our planet and the species living here. Human population plays a major role in this climate change. Higher numbers of people result in greater usage of natural resources.
And it said higher numbers of people increasing greater uses of natural resources. Well, guess what? Esau talking about a depopulation. Well, the Lord got the way is going to depopulate the earth, man. Okay, and there's no such thing as overpopulation. It's just overconsumption. That's what it really is. Because Esau is once again, he heaps everything unto himself. So that mindset that people have of taking on of Esau, they have that same mindset. So everybody, you got 7-8 billion people on the earth and they're all over consuming. That's what's going to happen. But if everybody was using the earth in moderation, as it's supposed to be done, as the scripture says, everything in moderation, there will be no so-called, over pollution or over, usage of the natural resources, man. 2nd Esdras 8 verse 1. And he answered me and said, the Most High has made this world for many, but the world to come for few. Okay. And the world to come for few is for who? The elect. Because the world to come, the elect are going to be the ones who have the dominion of the earth. It says, I will tell thee a similitude, Esdras, as when thou askest the earth, it shall say unto thee that it giveth much mold there whereof earthen vessels are made, but little dust that gold cometh of. Even so is the course of this present world. There be many created, but few shall be saved. And that's going to be another way the earth is going to be able to rejuvenate. You're not going to have that many people on the earth to be overly consuming it. Okay? Hey, man, and it's going to be beautiful. The way the Lord is going to have it set up, it's beautiful, man. And this video shows you that this is what is needed. But see, Esau is trying to do that show himself to be God, to try to so-called depopulate the earth by his wicked means. All right, but the Lord is coming, as it says, with judgment and righteousness. Do if he judge and make war. So like in righteousness, do if he judge and make war. Okay? The Lord's going to destroy a lot of people. The slain of the Lord should be many, but the Lord's going to slay people for their wickedness, for their ways that were transgressing the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Esau just doing it, just trying to get rid of everybody, especially the Lord chosen people. That's why he's going to be taken out the way. Okay, with numerous other offenses that he has
caused a major issue of global warming. The year 2020, however, is a year when the chain was broken down due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The lockdown resulted in the healing of our Mother Nature. It has caused the biggest drop in energy demand in the last 70 years. Hence, 2020 will see the biggest ever decline in annual emissions, according to a Bloomberg report. Empty streets, silent cities, closed factories, and quiet skies are now dominated by animals and birds all over the world. Recently, in Navi Mumbai, flamingos put on quite a show for the residents of Seawoods. Their arrival is not new, but this year, the sheer quantity in which they have arrived is a beautiful sight.
Imagine seeing that, man. Okay, in its fullness and in its beautiful state. Animals, just wild animals, just being free and you know, being in nature. You can't see that now because everything is all concrete. All right, now, and that's why in the second Esdras it says what the earth shall be on fire, and the elements and the works thereof shall be burnt up. The works of it is who? Esau and these heathens' works. All that's going to be burnt up, man, and done away with. And then we're going to rebuild, like Apocalypse said, through the ashes of this world, we shall build a better one. All right, and that's what's going to happen when Yahweh Shai comes. All right, through the ashes of this old world, we will build a better one.
People in Nepal have also witnessed rhinoceros walking down in the streets. The residents of Chandigarh have spotted a leopard. The shores of Mumbai have been greeted with dolphins, and the holy river of Ganges is now cleaner than ever, before which is also attracting worshippers, much like the dolphins.
Hey, ain't gonna be no worshiping of heathens, of these idols, all right, in the kingdom of heaven, man.
Prides of peafowls have become regular visitors at various locations. The zebras are actually seen crossing streets along with sheep and lizards. The fox and her cubs have found a new shelter near a pedestrian walkway. A family of otters was also spotted in Marina Bay area in Singapore. A rookery of penguins was also having a nice walk on the streets of Cape Town, South Africa. Kangaroos were seen hopping on the empty streets of Adelaide, Australia, as if they were performing for the CCTV cameras. People in the UK were feeding these deers, which is a rare sight. The horses galloping on the streets are spotted in Izmir, Turkey. And a lot more other sightings of wild animals dominating the land while humans are in a lockdown.
While humans are in lockdown. Hey, okay? Hey, and you heathens, you human heathens are going to be in lockdown in the kingdom, man, for 1,000 years. This only hit, these animals did this in just a year. Imagine 1,000 years of humans, of these nations being in lockdown underneath the rulers, okay, underneath the house of David. Hey, man, it's gonna be beautiful, man.
Though the pandemic is affecting human life on Earth, there have been a lot of positive effects on wildlife and nature. The stability that we and all life relies upon is regaining itself. These instances are proof that humans and animals can live together in harmony, and nature has its own way to recover itself. With global cooperation, our planet will recover and thrive once again. Together, we...
So let me finish that there.
Once again.
It said what? That because of the lockdown, humans have been suffering, but the nature have been healing itself. So it shows you, all right, saying plainly that the earth needs these heathens, starting with Esau, to be taken out of the way, man. All right, that's what the earth is saying. That's what the animals are saying. That's what the air is saying. All right, let's get that in Job, and I'm gonna close it out with that. Actually, I'm gonna close it out with Revelation, but let me get this in Job, chapter 12, verse 7. It says, "But ask now the beast, and they shall teach thee, and ask the fowls of the air, and they shall tell thee. Or ask the earth, and it shall teach thee, and the fishes of the sea, and it shall declare unto thee. Who knoweth not in all these that the hand of the Lord Yahweh has wrought this? In whose hand is the soul of every living thing, and the breath of all mankind." So the animals in the earth is telling you, okay, all right, through this pandemic, through the human lockdown, that there needs to be a change, man. The humans need to, and I'm not talking about Israel, okay, because Israel, the earth was created, as we just came and saw, the earth was created for Israel's sake. But the wicked of Israel, they got to be taken out of the way. And these heathens, they got to be locked down, all right? I should say the wicked of Israel, they need to be calibrated which is going to happen through the second death, and the heathens that don't die in the second death, all right, that mass death that is going to take place on the earth, the ones who are left after, okay, they're going to be locked down through captivity, and the world is going to benefit from it. And Esau Edom is not going to have dominion ever again, man. And then after he serves his punishment, he is going to be taken off the earth, because there will be no more need for the cancer. Okay, Revelation 11 verse 18, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, that thou shouldest give reward unto the servants to thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroyeth the earth. Call Lawyer Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakakwadash Wa Ababa Shalom.